Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Mast3ring, and today we're bringing you another episode of Mastering Black Ops 3, where we give you tips and tricks on the newest Call of Duty. Today we're going to be looking at something
Free
a little
for
bit
all.
quicker, and today it's not going to be something map-related. This is going to be a little bit quicker, but it's going to be a tip that's going to help you guys further your leveling up. It's going to help you in your matches, maybe win some gunfights, and eventually helping your KD and get to that coveted Master Prestige that everyone's looking at.
Live.
So we're here on Nuketown. We're going to be looking at gun control. Yes, that's the title of the video. And what that means is basically how to look at where your gun's aiming. A lot of people just think that Call of Duty is a game of you just go out there, spray and pray, and hope you hit something, when there's actually a way that you can hit your bullets better. And it's going to help you win more gunfights because you're going to be able to know where you're aiming. So first off, we're going to start back by stating that every gun is different. These are just a couple of examples, but maybe it's going to help you sit back and look at what's going on better. So, of course, each gun has 3 different ways that you can shoot them. You can shoot them standing up, you can shoot them crouching, and you can shoot them laying down. Now, each one, of course, has their different hip-fire accuracy, as you can see by the crosshairs, that when you're going from standing up to crouching, your crosshairs kind of flex out a little bit because you got that little bit of extra oomph going down. And the same thing goes from when you're laying down to going up. So drop shotting isn't really the best option anymore when it comes to getting the edge up on people, because if you drop shot, not only do you have to go through the first crosshair placement of bobs, but you have to go through the second one before you even get accurate. So if you're drop shotting, you have to wait till you're fully laid down to even get to that special aiming cycle. Now, the other ways that you can shoot, of course, is aiming. So we're going to line up at this line right here. Actually, we're going to line up with these lines right here at the edge of this bus. That's where we're lined up. We're going to aim at this, and we're going to do 3 shots. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We did 5. And that's kind of the bullet spread. You can kind of keep going, but that's kind of your bullet spread. And if we move directly to the side, so if we aim and go like directly to the side and we aim down sight and we don't even touch the knob, you can see that there's a specific bullet spread. Now, the farther away you get, the harder that gets. As you get farther away, you'll be able to see that the bullet spread kind of gets a little bit farther away. Same thing for here. You get farther away, stop aiming, and your bullets kind of go all over the place. Now, there is going to be a bit of a difference if you're not using anything. Like my class right now, I have a stock, a grip, and quick draw on it. So, of course, my spread isn't going to be that big when I'm aiming down sight. It's pretty much going to be pretty even. Now, learning this pattern can help you win gunfights. Now, if you're not using as many attachments, or maybe you're using more and you have better accuracy, you may not even have to worry about it. Like with this gun, just aiming down sight, you can see that bullet stayed about the same spot. You're not moving anywhere. You can pretty much aim and do whatever you want. But if you're using a gun that kind of jumps a little bit more, then it may change the way things are. So we're going to go ahead and hold this nade. We're going to murder ourselves. And we're going to switch to a gun that I use a lot, and that's the VMP. Now, I have my special class on. It's got a silencer, it's got a grip, it's got quick draw, it's got a stock, it's got long barrel. So, as you're going to be able to see from far away, it's still not that accurate. You can see the bullet transitions. You go up and to the right. And hip firing isn't any better. You still got that up and to the right, but it's more all over the place. That is going to help you win a lot of gunfights, especially if you're boosting around, you're jumping around, you don't know where everybody is, and someone pops out and they have a gun and they're shooting all over the place. Say they're not trying to control anything and they're going something like that, and they only hit those first 2 shots, but you come around the corner. So you come around the corner here and they're right there, and you can kind of pull down a little bit and strafe and burst your shots like that. You're going to hit a lot more shots. It's going to win you a lot more gunfights. There's a lot of people, especially who switch from core to hardcore, that I've noticed that have had a problem with that because they're not used to the kill time. They're used to the really quick, you get your first shot on and you're good, where core is more, you have to be consistent. You have to have a consistent good shot, and you have to be able, there's a lot more elements to it. So if you're one of those players that's coming from hardcore to core, or you play a lot of hardcore, I mean, I play both, so I am used to it. That's the main tip that I would have for you guys, is if you're trying to get used to the kill time, make sure that you're checking what your bullet spread is on each weapon that you're using. If you're using a weapon that's not the best bullet spread, then you might want to sit back and do what I just did. Just sit back, hold it down, and see where the bullet spread is. You can even burst it one time, and you can already see it's going to go up and to the right, and then go to the next and stay where you're at, and there you go. I mean, I'm out of ammo now, but as you can see, that's held almost perfectly. You're not going to find any, like, that's as good as you're going to get it with a VMP. You might find a few people who are better, but at the same time, it's definitely going to help you. Another thing that I want to mention is the way of approaching people. Now, a lot of people, of course, run and gun. That's how I play when I use a VMP. I'm one of those people that if there's someone around this bus, I'm going to jump around. I have a scuff controller, so I have paddles, so I don't, my fingers never leave my sticks, and I can hop around and aim where I want. I'm wall running everywhere. I'm using all of my surroundings to get around the map, and I don't care if you're sitting in a corner. Maybe I'll die once, but if you're over here, I'm going to come around and surprise you and shoot you, and that's where your sensitivity kind of comes into play. But one thing is, when you're doing ground warfare, is getting that upper edge, especially if you're playing core, but hardcore can help that as well. I see a lot of people who are struggling with getting kills, or at least getting that opening first shot, who are coming around this corner doing this and then firing. They're running around this corner, aiming down sight, and then making sure that they get the kill. Or let's say that we're trying to kill that mannequin. They'll come around here, aim first, and then shoot, when what you should be doing is coming around this corner, firing from the hip, and then aiming down sight. Your right trigger should always come first, especially when you're in mid to long range. Now, if you're at a super long range, like if you're up in this building, and you're expecting someone to be over there, left trigger away and line up that shot. But if you're aiming at that mannequin there and you're coming around this corner, you should be right triggering and then left triggering. Because what that's going to do is, as you come around that corner, you're coming around here and you're already firing, and you're already getting the first shot. So if they're taking the time to look at you and aim, yes, they may get a few good shots on you and you may be pretty weak afterwards, but you're going to be shooting sooner, and you're going to be able to kill them a lot faster. You can start shooting before you aim down sight, and it's going to give you those first easy shots, and then you can fine-tune your shots as you're going. That right there is a big tip. Another tip, of course, is using your surroundings, but that's kind of a known, like, a nonsense. Like, everybody kind of knows about that kind of thing. Just using your jumps and spots, using your wall runs, making sure that you're doing everything that you can to keep your opponent guessing. If they're going to expect you coming here, jump over the wall, you're going to come over here, and they're going to have to readjust. The last thing for gun control is not over-perking yourself. Now, this is a different tip, and it's something that there's going to be some disagreement with, but I've actually found it very, very well, is not over-perking and over-attachment is what I'm actually trying to say, like over-attaching yourself. Because, like, on this class right here, I have a silencer, I have a grip, I have a stock, I have so much accuracy that I could literally, and you see how, it doesn't affect the spread at all. I still have to aim and kind of pull down just a tiny bit on that stick, because that right there, that's not my aim. If I just shoot at the wall and don't hold the stick, my fire slowly rises. As you can see, like, those first couple shots might be fine, but it's going to keep rising up and up and up. Eventually, I'm not going to hit anything. Eventually, I'm just going to just sit there and be shooting above their head, and I'm going to die. So, having all those attachments, I only have it on this class just because it's cool to use, and for YouTube's sake, it lets me move around and look at stuff faster, and there's some other perks to having it and custom matches, but all you really need is a grip or a stock, or maybe even both. Quick draw is very essential, of course, aiming down sight. And, I mean, maybe long barrel depending on what you're using, but you don't really need all 5 attachments. Those primary gunfighters, you really only need the first one. If you're using all 5, you're kind of hindering yourself otherwise.